Hello everyone and welcome back to IntelliSkills. In today's tutorial, we are diving into a fundamental programming task, finding the sum of all elements in a list. But what's more interesting is that we'll explore two different ways to create this program. First, we'll use the traditional imperative approach and then we'll delve into the declarative approach. And we'll utilize Java's Stream API and Lambda expression to solve this problem. Let's start with the imperative approach. First, we'll create a method SumImperative. In this approach, we'll use a classic loop to iterate through the list and calculate the sum. In this method, we take a list of integers as an input. We initialize a sum variable to store the result. Then we use a for loop to iterate through each element in the list. And we'll add it to the sum variable. Finally, we return the computed sum. This is the traditional way of doing things. Clear and straightforward, but potentially way too long. Now let us write the declarative approach, and we'll create a method SumDeclarative first by using Java's Stream API and Lambda expressions. This method provides a more expressive and concise solution. When we'll complete writing the program, you will be able to see or point out differences between the imperative one and the declarative one. So let's stick to the declarative approach. In this method, we start with the same list of integers. Here's where the magic happens. We use Java's Stream API to transform our list into a stream. Then we use the map_to_int function along with the Lambda expression to convert each element into an integer. Okay, and with just one line of code, we use the sum function to calculate the sum of all elements in the stream. This approach is shorter as expected, expressive, and aligns with a more functional coding style. Our methods are ready. Now let us use them in the main method to find the sum of elements in a list. In the main method, we first create a list of integers called the numbers. Then we call our SumImperative method to find the sum using the imperative approach, and then we'll print the result. Next, we call the SumDeclarative method to find the sum using the declarative approach, and then we print that result. This allows us to compare both approaches. Now let us run our program to see the output. Okay, so as you can see, both approaches give us the same result, the sum of all elements in the list. However, the declarative approach does with less code and in a more expressive style. This exercise shows why declarative coding is important. Declarative coding not only shortens our code, but it also puts more focus on what needs to be done rather than getting into the details of how it should be done. This approach makes our code easier to read and maintain, especially when working on complicated tasks. Thank you for joining me today on IntelliSkills. If you found this tutorial helpful in understanding the imperative and declarative approaches and the importance of declarative coding with Java Stream API and Lambda expressions, please like, share and subscribe for more coding tutorials and insights. If you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below. Happy coding! Bye!